Ah! G'day guys, welcome to another episode of It's a Dogger's Life. I'm Chris Booby. On this episode you're going to see some trapping. You're also going to see some different stuff this episode. So stick around and you have to see what happens. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you enjoy it, because that's what it's about. It's about me getting out, or us getting out into this beautiful country that we have, and showing you our way of life. So welcome to It's a Dogger's Life. G'day, I'm Chris Booby.
And I'm Trent Hogan.
Welcome to It's a Dogger's Life. Last episode we're out here and we put some cameras in, and well, you've seen what happened. So unfortunately it's just the way it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and this time we've lost. Dogs 2, Treno and Boobs 0. We're just back here again to whack some traps in and hopefully catch those dogs. The couple that we've seen plus a couple more would be nice, but we'll see how we go. Just getting around at the minute, checking cameras and starting to whack traps in, see how we go. I'm going to try and get a deer wire out here too this trip for some meat to put in the freezer. And there's a new little segment coming up actually. Well, hopefully we'll see how it goes. I've got a good mate of mine, Mick Hobson, so we're going to try and do some flash wild game, and we'll whack that on here as well, just some different ways of how he cooks it and stuff like that. Hey, look at these cattle. There's the camera. Have a look at it. You right there, girls? This is the reason why we're out here, eh? Look at those beautiful calves. All it takes is a dog or some dogs to kill one of those little fellas, or even worse, one of these cows. That's a big chunk of money going out of the farmer's pocket. Also, that's a big chunk of meat that comes out of the fridge that most people eat. These cattle are actually pretty wised up to the dogs, but they still lose a few every now and then. Actually, this property wasn't this property, but these guys, uncle I think he was losing at one stage, was losing heifers, this same sort of line, losing 2-year-old heifers to dogs. So that was one of the reasons why we started working for these guys. These bloody cattle, it's no good for trapping in this paddock, eh, with these cattle like this. That's better, shooting across the track. Yeah, how's that? That's better. Range find that spot where we were the other morning, where we were seeing those dogs, so we'll range find it and see how far it actually was. That'll be good. See you there. So the dogs were up on top of that ridge. They were going along the top of that ridge, so See if we can range that tree. Oh, there, 460 metres. So it wasn't quite. it probably wasn't quite. Probably wasn't quite 700 metres like we thought, but it's too far still for a dog to shoot a dog. Try and shoot a dog. Here's this little bush. So this is a fence line. So we come up here, come just over that ridge just there, and then all of a sudden, yeah, here's these dogs over on there, over on that ridge line. Whack it in the comments below, guys, if you had taken that shot. Even if I had my rangefinder on the day, now that I think about it, I wouldn't have taken that shot anyway, being that distance. So with a 22-250 or a 243, yeah, what do you reckon? You would have taken the shot? Let us know. Comments below. No judgment, either way. Red stag. Stag, actually. Little red stag. He's been getting smashed probably by other stags, I reckon. It's only a spiker. Quiet little fella. This is pretty cool. The deer are roaring at the minute. There's a hind just up here barking at me. I'm only walking, I'm not trying to shoot him. I can hear deer roaring right in the distance. Hear that? That's cool. See if we can see her. That's so cool, eh? Jeez, that's cool. I don't know if you can hear it or not. See if you can hear stags roaring. One up in there. Oh look, there's a deer. That's a hind that was barking at me. Anyway, it's getting a bit dark. Have to go and set this camp up. Jeez, I wish I had a camera. So we've had a little bit of success. I know I said I was after dogs here, but this fella popped up. He was a little bit too hard to resist. I need some meat for me freezer, so nice big red stag. There's actually a track that runs along the bottom there, and I was just driving down there and he was roaring up in these bushes just here. So I sort of just literally just pulled up out of sight down there and just walked up around the back here and got into these trees just there, and he was too busy worried about the girls, and yeah, dropped him. Well, that was a pretty cool first afternoon. Yeah, seen a heap of deer, listening to them roar up here now, and yeah, listening to the stags roar now up in the hills, so it's pretty cool. So I'll unless something pretty cool happens tonight, I'll see you in the morning.
If we get closer, instead of driving up there, we might be able to fucking look. Yeah, look.
I was telling someone about it the other day. The emotions of checking your traps each morning. It's sort of like a, it's a roller coaster. Really is. Like you'll be all excited when you first thing in the morning when you get up. You're all excited and keen to go and check your traps for the day. Look at this. There's a print, dog print in the shit. So you're all keen to get up and check your traps in the morning, and then you go along and the first one's got none in it, and you're like, damn. And then your emotions go down, and then you drive along and you're waiting for the next one, so you're all excited again, and all of a sudden you can just see that bit of a flicker of colour. We've had a bit of success here this morning. Got a female wild dog down here. Just thought I'd show you. I'm just walking back down to reset this trap, and we don't actually drive down this track anymore because it's all washed out back up there, so it's a bit of a walk, but it's just a good little spot to put a trap though. As you can see, it's a nice intersection here. Got this gully that runs up the hill. Track comes down this way, and then these two traps come into a point here. You're like, yeah, success. All that hard work, because it is hard work, hey, trapping. It's not as glamorous as what you might think. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of hours. First of all, putting in the hours. Look at this. It's an old scat. Putting in the hours, finding where the dogs are, where they're travelling, how often they're coming through. Like cameras, trail cameras these days have saved a lot of time and effort, like doing that, but you still have to find those spots to put the cameras there. So that's the first part. Then it's putting in the traps, and that's a lot of hard work too. Like that's a day's work, full on. Banging traps into the ground. It's not as easy as what it seems. So when you actually catch a dog, that feeling, I don't know if I'll ever replace that feeling, of when you get a dog in a trap, and all that hard work, all that planning, all that effort has actually come off. It's such a good feeling. And then you go to the next trap and there's nothing, so you get these massive highs and lows. It's so cool. It is so cool. Look at this beautiful place. Absolutely nothing. It's beautiful. So yeah, these emotions, man, are out. And I'm not crying, I've just got something in my eye. I'm not that emotional about it, alright? I'm not quite that emotional, but I tell you what, it definitely is hard to replace, I reckon. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to replace that feeling of successfully catching a dog. And at the same time, if you're lucky enough to get paid for it, that's fantastic. But even better, being able to help the farmer out, and the relief on their face when you tell them you've got the dog. got some dogs is just, it's second to none. Honestly, that relief on their face and their expression, and you can just see that bit of weight off their back until they pay the bill. No, they're more than happy to fork out a bit of money when you do a professional job and you know, get results. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I'll show you how I do the remakes. Separate pair of gloves to handle the dog and do a remake. This Jake trap, when I was setting this trap the other day, it actually kept firing off, the mongrel thing. So see how it goes, but yeah, it's hopefully it'll reset alright. Should do that now. Once again, I just use the same trap. This whole area smells like that dog, so there's no worries about the trap smelling any different. Love doing remakes when you catch a dog, because it usually means you've caught a dog. Bit of dirt back in the bottom of the hole, especially for these jakes. You need a nice soft pad to get them down on, I believe. You don't want any movement. All this dirt here that the dog's been rolling around in. Just pile it up like that. And very carefully with this Jake, because it's a prick, find your pan. You can just see the jaw there. Yeah. Something I also do with remakes is clean up a little bit and create a bit of an entrance. So you can see the trap circle there still. I'll just get a stick and just thin the edges off, or just break the edges up, I should say, of the trap circle. I find if you leave too much of a trap circle there, they'll actually walk around the edge of a lot of them. But I've worked out if you just break the edges up a little bit, it's not so much of a big deal. So these dogs will walk around there, there's blood there, they'll sniff that. There's a bit of urine here, but it looks blood. I'll try and dig a bit of that up and put it up in here. I'll also put a little bit of a lure up in here just to make that bit more of a step. We'll see how we go. There we go. So it's finished, completed that remake. Got another good spot. So we got a bit of scat and all the blood and everything piled up in behind there. There's still a little bit over there, but it'll be all good. And this is that remake from yesterday. This is what you call getting foxed. Old Foxy Loxy's been here, and obviously the pan tension's worked. You can see he's dug up the trap a little bit. A little stinker. And he's left me a little calling card as well. Little fucker. Anyway, we'll go down and check this other one. Yeah, I forgot to mention the other part of that, all that scenario is the last day and you haven't got a dog, and then you've got to go around and pull all your traps out. Now that's a job in itself. So I always just set my traps off with my foot, pull them out of the hole, Give them a shake off. Find your pins, pegs, whatever you want to call them. There's one. Once you get them started, they're usually alright. Usually. There we go. Here's one. And if they all come out like that, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But they don't. Especially in certain ground, and like we've had rain. This is hard to do, ain't I, filming? Oh shit, yep, this is going to be a prick. There we go. Sorry about the shaky footage, guys. This is actually really hard to do and film. So that's going to be a prick, but I'll show you something. This is my old mate, Old Yeller. Now, Trent and I, look at him, he's all half bent. Trent and I have relied on this so much. You can see you've got a chain hooked onto a D shackle. And what you do, don't get your finger jammed like I just did. You get your D, look at that. Jesus Christ. Oh man. That's a bit graphic, especially this time in the morning. Put around your post, around your peg. I'm bleeding everywhere now. Great. Look at that. Far out. And you pull it up. Easy as that. You're going to have to go and wrap this finger up. Old Yeller. Be worth investing in one of those guys if you haven't already. She's all fixed up. What a pain in the ass. Far out. See what happens when you're trying to film and not concentrating on what you're doing? Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that episode. We certainly did. We've had a pretty successful trip. Couple of deer, nice stag here. You can see I've got them all packed up, ready to go. Got an esky full of meat, can't be happier. So once again guys, if you enjoyed it and like this sort of content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, also the bell notifications, and also share it with your friends, because the more the merrier. See you next time. Hey, turn this off.